So before the Switch presentation, we had a retailer leak quite a lot of accessories, and one of those accessories was a fight stick. Now at the time I did speculate about whether this meant Tekken 7 was coming out for the Switch. Now obviously since then we have had the Switch presentation, and we know that Bandai Namco aren't bringing over Tekken 7, at least to start off with. Maybe they could be bringing it out at a later date, but we know that Tekken 7 will not be coming out for the Switch like soon, pretty much. Otherwise they would have revealed it in the Switch presentation. And now looking back, that fight stick is probably for Ultra Street Fighter 2, and that is it. So yeah, I just wanted to make this video talking about Tekken 7. I should have really made this video before the Switch presentation went live. I really did want to make this video, but unfortunately I didn't have the time to do so. But I really think Tekken 7 would be a good game to bring out for the Switch. It is definitely one of the games that I would double dip on, so I would pick it up for the PS4 and I would pick it up for the Switch as well, and I will talk about why I would pick it up for both systems in a few minutes time. But I honestly thought Tekken 7 was a banker. I honestly expected Tekken 7 to come out for the Switch, just because Bandai Namco and Nintendo, they are pretty friendly. I would say out of all of the third party developers, I would say Bandai Namco is the closest to Nintendo, just because they have worked on games like Super Smash Bros. 4, they have worked on Mario Kart 8 I do believe, as well as Pokemon Tournament for the Wii U. So Bandai Namco, they have a history of working on games for Nintendo consoles. I do believe they did develop Go Vacation for the Wii as well. So Bandai Namco and Nintendo are really close. So that is why I did expect to see Tekken 7 for the Switch, but I would say their most high profile game that Bandai Namco are bringing over is Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2. And to be honest with you, I'm not really that interested in that game. I was more interested in Tekken 7, to be quite honest with you. So I was disappointed that Tekken 7 wasn't coming out for the Switch, or we know that Tekken 7 isn't coming out anytime soon. If we do get Tekken 7, then it probably will come out later than the other versions. It won't come out on the 2nd of June probably, because if it was, then we probably would have got an announcement. We would have seen Tekken 7 in the games that are confirmed for 2017. So I don't think Tekken 7 is coming out for the Switch, and I think that is a massive shame, just because the game that you're watching now, I did actually go back and play this game the other day, so that is why I am incredibly rusty in this video. But the game that you're watching is Tekken Tag Tournament 2 for the Wii U, and it was probably one of the best third party games on the Wii U, just because it had all of the content from the PS3 and Xbox 360 version, and it also had exclusive content like the costumes, and it had exclusive modes like the mushroom mode. I can't remember the specific name, but you will be watching it in the background of this video, and it is actually really fun. I forgot how fun that mode was. And I do believe Tekken Ball was also exclusive to the Switch version. And it just got me thinking that I'll just love to see that sort of thing for a Tekken 7 Nintendo Switch port. So yeah, I'm just seeing, Tekken 7, and I'm looking at the exclusive stuff, for the PS4, and it's just a jukebox which was available on every single Tekken game before. They are now making that exclusive to the PS4 version. So if you are buying that game on the Xbox One version, then you won't be able to get something which you were able to play with in the other Tekken games. So yeah, I just thought, seeing that, it just made me think about the exclusive stuff in Tekken Tag Tournament 2, and how the Wii U exclusive stuff was actually pretty good. It was really good. So that is why I want to see a Tekken 7 port for the Switch. And if they did do like exclusive costumes, that include all of the same ones before, like Sheik, the Mushroom, you got Zelda, you got Princess Peach, you got Mario, Luigi, and maybe you could include the Inklings in there as well. and maybe you could include the Mushroom game mode as well as Tekken Ball again, then I'll definitely pick up Tekken 7 for the Switch. But this is looking unlikely just because, like I said, I think if it was coming out for the Switch, then Bandai Namco would have announced it pretty much soon after the Switch presentation. They would have announced it at the same time as they announced all of the other games that are coming out for the Switch. And plus, we did get a comment from Harada, who is the producer for Tekken, and who also, excuse me for the stutter there, but who also produced Pokken Tournament for the Wii U, and he had this to say: "We're quite surprised by the Switch announcement. Read into that what you like." So that suggests two things. The first thing is that Nintendo didn't tell Harada, or Bandai Namco didn't tell Harada what the Switch was, which I can't really see happening, just because obviously Bandai Namco knew what the Switch was going to be, just because they are developing games like Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 for the Switch. So I'm sure that Bandai Namco and Harada, they would have known what the Switch was. I'm sure that Bandai Namco would have talked to Harada about the Switch and its concept. So I don't think that option is a possibility. I think the second option is the more likeliest, which is that Harada knew what the Switch was and he wasn't happy with the concept, so he wasn't a fan of porting Tekken 7 over to the Switch. So I'm not really sure what to make of that, to be honest with you, if that did turn out to be true, just because obviously Tekken came out for the Wii U, so I'm not sure why they wouldn't make a Tekken game for the Switch. Maybe there is too much of a bigger difference between the PS4, Xbox One and the Switch for Harada to talk about, or to actually make Tekken 7 for the Switch. Or maybe it is a case where Harada was surprised by the Switch. He didn't know what it was, but I think he was surprised by the concept that Nintendo went with in terms of the Switch, and I don't think he is a fan of the Switch as a concept. So I think that is why we aren't seeing Tekken 7 for the Switch. But that is just pure speculation on my part. I really do hope we do get Tekken 7 for the Switch, but I just can't see it happening. I really can't, unfortunately. So I really wish I made this video before the Switch presentation, but unfortunately, like I said before at the start, I just didn't have the time. So let me know your thoughts about this in the comment section below. Would you want to pick up Tekken 7 for the Switch? Would you want to see Tekken 7 come out for the Switch? Would you pick that game up? Or would you end up picking that game up for the PS4? So yeah, I'm not really happy about how Tekken 7 is going. It's sort of going the route that other fighters are going, where it's getting flipping DLC characters left, right and centre. It's getting new stages. There's pretty much DLC left, right and centre for Tekken now. Sort of like Street Fighter and other fighting games. So I'm not sure whether I will pick up Tekken 7 on the 2nd of June, or whether I will wait for the inevitable Tekken 7 Game of the Year edition, where I can pick up the game and its DLC content, and I can get it for the same price as if I did end up picking up the game this year. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do, to be honest with you, but I would still pick up Tekken 7 for the Switch, just for the exclusive stuff like the costumes and the exclusive game modes. If Tekken 7 did come out for the Switch and they did the same sort of thing with Tekken Tag Tournament 2, which, like I said, I felt was one of the best third party games on the Wii U, then I would actually pick it up for the Switch. I would pick up Tekken 7 for the Switch. So yeah, like I said, for me, Tekken 7 was a banker. I absolutely expected this game to be announced for the Switch, so I was surprised that it didn't. And it just, for me, it just shows how bad the third party situation is on the Switch. Maybe these third party devs are waiting for the Switch to get an install base, and that is when they will bring over their games. But maybe it is a case where You know, they are letting Nintendo release their games first, and they don't want to compete with Nintendo. So maybe that is another situation, or maybe they just don't want to develop games for the Switch, and that is, I think, going to be the likeliest, if that is even a word. I think that is the more likely situation. I don't think the Switch will get that many third-party games, and that is something which I have talked about before on my channel. And like I said before, I'm perfectly happy with the Switch just being a Nintendo box, just because I'm interested in quite a lot of Nintendo games, especially in year one. And I'm not made of money. I can't afford to pick up every single game under the sun. So yeah, I am happy with the Switch being my Nintendo box and my PS4 being my third party box. So yeah, Tekken 7. Are you disappointed that it is looking likely that it isn't coming out for the Switch, or aren't you bothered? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. But until next time, I'm out of here for now. Goodbye.